Welcome everyone to Fuck the Football, and this is my third video. And thank you so much for watching the last two videos. Thank you for all the love. And yes, we are going to continue making this channel as entertaining as possible. And yeah, today's video isn't that entertaining for me. It's more like a warning for all of us Barcelona fans. But yes, Jose Mourinho, why man? Why have you done this? Why do you want to come back to La Liga again? Why do you want to walk back into this absolute circus one more time? I don't get it. You did it at Chelsea. You want to do it at Madrid again. But you know what? Somewhere deep down, I kind of love this. I do love this. I genuinely do, because if there is one thing La Liga was missing for the last few years, it was that pure hatred, that pure rivalry, that wanting your blood off each other when you're in the match, in the same pitch, wanting to tear apart each other, and that actually comes with having mercurial temperamental managers like Mourinho. And yes, that old El Clasico toxicity where managers look like they wanted to physically fight each other on the touchline. I'm missing that. And I'm happy that Mourinho is bringing that energy now. But who is this man? This man who's called himself the special one. Now, let's break down Mourinho's career. He's managed more than 1,100 matches till date, more than 730 wins, and a career win percentage of 65%, which honestly is very rare. 26 trophies in the bags, 8 league titles, 2 Champions Leagues, 1 Europa League, 1 Conference League. This man has literally gone to Portugal, England, Italy, Spain, and Turkey, and somehow still remains one of the most talked about, feared managers, despite him being the last manager for, or rather, the current manager for Fenerbahce. Now, let's talk about what his first Real Madrid spell looked like. My God, that was a stacked team. Now, that team was ridiculous. That he had, of course, the man, the legend, still the legend, still the working legend, Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Ozil, Di Maria, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo, Xabi Alonso, Luka Modric. Oh my God, that squad was insane. Across 178 matches that Mourinho managed, he's won 128 of them. That's almost a 72% win rate. And that Madrid side, by the way, scored 475 goals during his tenure. 475. That's almost 100 plus goals every year, every season that he's been part of. And the fact that they won the 2011 2012 of Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, they actually had to bring in some really insane numbers. And 100 points on the table and 121 goals they had to score to beat Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. That obviously means Barcelona was a terrifying team as well. But Mourinho made sure Real Madrid was more terrifying in that season, and they actually won the 2011 2012 quite easily. Mourinho's El Clasico record wasn't exactly the best, to be honest. He basically started his career getting a hammering from Barcelona. There was a 5-0 hammering from Barcelona, and that was absolute humiliation. That was his first ever El Clasico. 5-0. The team destroyed them. And the fifth goal, okay, I need to say this because I saw the highlights the other day. The fifth goal was scored by this guy called Hefrin. I don't know where Hefrin is right now. That brother disappeared from football history after that moment like a side character in an anime. Very forgetful. He wasn't really dominant. Just 3 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses. So yeah, Barca fans, breathe a little, calm down. It's fine. The numbers don't explain much, but yeah, those Clásicos were pure madness. They were very close matches. Now, obviously, Mourinho never arrives alone. He comes with trophies and drama, always drama. Chelsea's second spell, okay? What started with his first spell, obviously, Chelsea was in a way that made him the special one, because they won back to back Premier Leagues with an absolutely crazy team at that time. And his second spell came by, and well, he did win the Premier League in the first season itself. But by the second season, there were literally dressing room explosions happening. There were a lot of issues with Diego Costa, both of them going at it in public, in full public view. And yes, if you remember that famous Eva Carnero incident, that incident actually made Eva Carnero an overnight celebrity as well. But that incident in itself, in a way, summed up Mourinho's second spell at Chelsea. But that Manchester United spell, it still feels illegal to say that, It still feels illegal to say that Jose Mourinho managed Manchester United. And honestly, while United did win trophies, not many, they actually won a very famous Europa League where Mourinho did say that, try winning it with this team, because he did it, and that was actually his biggest accomplishment at that time of his career. He's actually said that. And then again, he had a lot of fallouts. The major fallout being his fallout with Paul Pogba. Though then with Tottenham, there's no point even discussing Tottenham apart from that one very famous clip which still does the round of the internet, where Mourinho psychologically analyzes Dele Alli, like literally like a disappointed father, and predicts his future career. And to be honest, that prediction still stays true. So that's the madness that Mourinho brings always to the table. Now, okay, here we are again. Mourinho back at Madrid, older, more experienced, slightly less magical, maybe. Still terrifying, because see, one thing Mourinho always delivers domestically is competitiveness. Now, domestically, his record is absolutely a peach. 90% of his titles are all domestic titles. You have league titles and you have domestic cups. This man loves his domestic cups. And that's the domestic discipline he will be bringing to. But Champions League? Hmm. Now, I think we all know, if you're going to be a Madrid coach, you got to win a Champions League. Now, if that's not going to happen in the first season for Mourinho, maybe they might let it go. Maybe I think that might just be one of their top agendas to win the Champions League again, because that's where you see Madrid Madrid justifying their stars and their spends, and actually their overall galacticoness, right? And yes, that's when, even with the last spell when Mourinho had, they won three trophies. Okay, despite scoring 475 goals across those 4 seasons, they won only three trophies, and Champions League wasn't one of them. What does he have as a challenge? This is what Mourinho will do. He will obviously be making some really tough decisions when it comes to the star players. Now, here's the thing. Now, I'm not a coach, of course, but from what I understand with the game, I feel Mourinho will definitely bench either Vinicius or Mbappe. I don't think they will be able to play in the same match, at least in the starting matches, in the first few matches. And yeah, he hates that imbalance in transition. Basically, he will not want something that will destabilize the structure. A left winger's got to be a left winger, a striker's got to be a striker. As simple as that. And honestly, I feel like the likes of Mbappe, Bellingham, Valverde, Chouameni, Rudiger, even the likes of David Alaba will actually flourish under Mourinho, because those are his type of players. The guys who I honestly feel not bad, but who I honestly feel might just be under the radar would be the likes of Rodrigo, Arda Güler, Enrique, and Gonzalo. In the four of these names, I feel Arda Güler has earned his place in the team. Next season, maybe he should be given a chance. But the problem with Arda Güler is that there are already exceptional players way above him in those same positions. So yeah, with Mourinho coming in, to be honest, it's bad news for Barcelona in the short term, definitely domestically. But in the long term, I think it's great news for football. So yeah, can't wait to watch Mourinho in action. What about you guys? What do you all think? Is Mourinho good news or bad news for Barcelona, and good news or bad news for Madrid? Let me know in the comments.